Hans Christian Andersen once stated that where words fail, music speaks. And as a gifted musician and pianist, the 2012 Atoka Alumni Association's Hall of Fame inductee, Mary Denise Lovell, certainly knows how to speak a lot. Whoa, wait just a minute. That's not very nice. That makes it sound like I talk all the time and like I never shut up. I mean, who writes all this stuff anyway? You know what? I think I'm just going to tell you my story. Okay, this is my family. That's my mom and my dad, Betty and MJ Lovell, and my two brothers, Claude and Mark, and the little cute girl, that's me, believe it or not. Daddy was a teacher and a principal at Harmony Schools, and my mom worked at Inca Head Start, and later she worked at Harmony School also. So I guess you could say that our family knew about education. But more importantly, we knew about learning, and that learning was fun. We spent a lot of hours in the middle of the living room floor playing games. We played everything from chess to 42 to pitch to Monopoly. Well, Monopoly didn't work out so well because my oldest brother seemed to think I couldn't roll the dice correctly. You know, as kids, we just thought we were playing games, but now I look back and realize that we were gaining critical thinking skills and learning to be creative. We were learning to think outside that proverbial box. And learning didn't stop there. At an early age, I began to express an interest in music. I guess my interest in clothing must have kicked in a little later, thank goodness. But my wise mother recognized my God-given ability, and she knew that having talent makes you great, but that knowledge plus that talent makes you a musician. She also wanted me to have the confidence that comes from knowledge, and she sacrificed a lot of Saturdays. She would drive me to Durant for piano lessons when she could have been home and when she needed to be home taking care of the family and taking care of herself. In 1976, I graduated from Harmony School, and in the fall of 1976, I officially became a Wampus cat. Being a country kid coming to the city school had some challenges, but because of my educational background, I was able to adapt quickly. I was involved in band and National Honor Society. I won some curriculum contests. I was on the superintendent's honor roll, and of course, I was involved in choir. I won numerous awards for solos and ensembles. I was a 3-time member of the all-district choir, and I studied hard during high school. I made good grades. In my senior year, I was voted as the outstanding senior girl. I graduated from Atoka in 1980 and went on to do my collegiate work at Southeastern Oklahoma State University in Durant. I was a Parsons Scholar, and that scholarship, I was so blessed because it paid for everything, room, board, books, and tuition. And while at Southeastern, I decided to pursue a career in music education. I was active in the chorale, the band. I earned top honors in music theory, and that was no easy feat. And I graduated in 1984 as the outstanding music student. 1984 to 1986, this country girl once again moved to the city, and I attended graduate school at Southern Methodist University in Dallas. While I was there, I was a student, but I also had been awarded a teaching fellowship in the school's piano pedagogy department. I earned my Master's of Music in Piano Performance. I learned a lot about music while I was at SMU. I learned even more about life. And after living in the big city for 2 years, I learned that Atoka was a great place to live. So I moved back to Atoka, and I started a piano studio while I waited for a teaching job to become available. In the fall of 1987, this Wampus cat finally returned to the pack. I was hired by Atoka Public Schools as the vocal music instructor, and that's where I still am today. During the past 26 years, my students have won when you stop and think about it, they probably won thousands of medals and trophies and plaques and sweepstakes awards at state and regional levels. We've done musicals and plays and concerts and small events and parades, dinner theater, museums, singing Valentine's. I mean, we've sung everywhere from gubernatorial inaugurations to dog auctions. In 2003, I was chosen as Atoka Public School Teacher of the Year, and later that year, I was chosen as a State Teacher of the Year finalist, the only person from Atoka to ever attain that title. But the best part of my job is not the trophies and the medals and the successes and accomplishments, but the best part is I teach middle school and high school. I have the possibility to teach a student for as many as 7 years. It's not just a job, it's an investment. And I see the dividends of those investments when I see my students sing at weddings or lead their church choirs or perform in professional operas or open their own country music business and perform in Branson. Or when I see a mom encouraging her child to write and perform compositions. And some even begin the process again as educators with their own classroom. My adventures aren't just confined to the classroom, though. My musical adventures have led me from the Outer Banks of North Carolina to Mexico to the Cowboy Cafe in Caney, and then right back home to Atoka, where the real fun begins. I get to serve as my church pianist, I get to entertain at banquets and parties, and my newest acquisition is the fiddle. I also love spending time with my family. I absolutely have the best mom in the whole world who has been there every step of the way for me. I have 3 beautiful nieces, 2 supportive and loving brothers. I have 3 beautiful and smart nieces. I have a fantastic sister-in-law. And did I mention that I have 3 beautiful, smart, and talented nieces? The last 3 weeks have been incredibly busy. When I found out I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I looked at the list of the former Hall of Famers, and I saw that I had some big shoes to fill, so I went to work. I started by writing a book, and then there was my cattle business. I tried to write a bull, but that didn't really work out. And since there were several people on the list who had served our country, and since I'm like the Marines, always looking for a few good men, I thought I'd try the military. And then there's Dr. Fodry. I thought, surely I could do some math, be like him. I met with dignitaries. 3 weeks wasn't enough time to get an Oscar, but I was able to get an Elmo. Fortunately, I already had Coach Keith and Dr. Parham and Crystal Robinson covered. I think if I got rid of those other 2 women, I might could do this job. I finally just had to give up. I can't be like these other people. That's not how God created me. It's not His purpose and His plan. I just need to be me. Mary Denise Lovell.